Atlanta Falcons. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is, but to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They come out here in the eye. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Falcons have taken the early lead. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Their dangerous wide receiver, 83 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Geno Atkins is an absolute force as a defensive tackle. Forces every offense that he plays against to alter their game plan.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
These are not the runs that you worry about early in the game. These are runs that you're establishing now for later in the game, trying to wear a defense down and create holes that you'll exploit later. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Going left side, it's It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes, just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They run a draw here on second down. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Oh, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This officially... They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll set up a throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Let's see what the offense comes with here, 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block it.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
He'll return it from the 6. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And tough starting field position here. They come out here in the eye. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Finding time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Fielded at the 33. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always...
And his first carry, he loses the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Let's go! And they let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up the 1st down.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job 1 for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's good, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 20 that time, and that leads to an Atlanta 1st down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Let's go! And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Third down and 3.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. We got 4. Hurry up, here we go.
Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll look to throw here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Back to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Gonna throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He sets to fire, trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. So it is 3rd down now, but less than a yard to go. Back to throw. Servant nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is...
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Here we go. Green, 30.
They'll throw now on the final play. Wide open receiver complete. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy. because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. And now here's a carry heading left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A big pickup there on the run. 34 yards.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against them.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball. On second down, Smallwood.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on second and 11.
Let's go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire, and he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off Byron Jones. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep. And this is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. if things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from having the lead. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They go back to the air here after the INT. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can right foot in.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And this will be touchdown across midfield at the 45-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. That's picked up by the Cowboys. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Let's go!
They'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, you saw 5 receivers out there, 3rd down from that distance. You had to think quick pass. They were able to get it done.
No doubt about it. Everything went quickly on that play. The processing, getting the ball out, getting it to the proper target, and picking up the 1st down. Hard to defend. Maybe your only hope is get your hands in the passing lane on the pass rush and try and bat it away.
They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Atlanta now coming out on the field, and last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. Oh, design run for their wideout. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's
and he will go down. A Cowboy sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And the defense lines up looking for one final stop.
And they will be playing for the pass in this situation, not expecting any type of a run.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the comebacker. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting.
Hurry up, here we go.
Going right back to Smallwood. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 14 there, and it'll give the Falcons a first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. He's back to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They'll look to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Play fake. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catching.
And did he catch it? He did. A touchdown. One of the most improbable finishes in recent history. They've won it on the final throw.
I think what we just saw in that drive, partner, is great practice, preparation, and poise. Not only did they score with little time left for them to retaliate, they chewed up enough time along the way while still getting the yardage they needed. That was an impressive drive.
Very methodical. Now, barring something crazy on the kickoff, they've got this one. Oh, man, we just saw it moments ago. What a great win. A touchdown to cap the game as the clock hit zeros.
I don't care how you finish it. It's always dramatic to win on the last play of the game. But when it's a touchdown and not a field goal, Even more dramatic. Phenomenal finish.
So for the Falcons, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.